I'm not a scientist. I'm not an expert in footballs. I'm not an expert in football measurements. I don't want anyone rubbing them, putting any air in them, taking any air out. To me, those balls are perfect, and that's what I expect when I throw. I can't throw it on the football. So goddamn hard about holding on to it.
8, 18, 25, and it's 76 degrees outside right now. The very first few hints of autumn are upon us, and thank God. There is nothing better than when the dog days of summer begin to dissipate just as draft season rolls around. Merry draft season to you, fellow fantasy millionaires. With only 2 more weeks of drafts to go, it is time to really lock in. Tonight, we deep dive into rounds 5 through 8, where I think all the money gets made this year. Stacks, when's your next draft?
It is this Saturday. I got 2 of them. One is a football guys invitation, kind of like a big tournament, maybe like a 1,200 person tournament, and then the other one is a Hutch's home league. I'm in there. I'm rocking with the Hutch dog. So I'm excited. Your soliloquy there, it stirred in me a reminder to yesterday when London, my daughter, she's 14. She just said, I can't wait for fall. I can't wait for pumpkins. I can't wait for cinnamon. Sure, just naming all a breeze, a beautiful leaf, a nice chill night. I was like, oh, football. I was like, oh, it's coming, baby. It's coming. I'm very excited that football is around the corner. I started checking out injury reports. They're not saying questionable for a preseason game. They're saying questionable for week 1. And holy shit. There's just a bunch of people who are questionable for week 1. So it is upon us. Like, I started my teaching today, went back in, got my classroom set up, just started doing all the things. It's here, baby. It's here. We're talking week 1 sooner than you know it. So we got to get your fantasy drafts out of the way. I think I've got like 6 in the next 2 weeks or so. It's just get you the blood flowing. How about you? How many did you have the next couple weeks?
Yeah, I have another. This is a lull, so I don't have one until next Monday, and then it's just on. It's back to back to back to back to back. I mean, when is Bo's draft? We have to get that on the books. We got to get that analyst league on the books.
Right, I forgot. I got like 10 drafts. Never mind. I have 8 that are scheduled, 2 to schedule.
Yeah, I think I have 9 left, and they're all just going to be back to back to back. And I'm really do not want to have to double draft, so I'm hoping that we can figure out both of those leagues because I only have like 2 days open.
Agreed. Yeah, one of the ladies, I don't forget who it was, but up at the Fantasy Expo, they just said it's Christmas time. Basically, that's what there's. It's Fantasy Christmas. They're hearkening if you celebrate, and many of us do, and I do, and I celebrate the fantasy football and then the Christmas. I understand that analogy very well. It is upon us. Yeah, 'tis the season.
It's that there's just this moment. So we live in Maryland. Maryland is a great state. You get 4 perfect seasons, and by mid-August, you are sick of summer, and you get these first few little hints where it goes from 90 degrees like it was yesterday to 76, and you go outside at night and you taste the autumn a little bit.
You sleep with your windows down at night.
And you just know, here we go. It's football time.
It's football. It's all about football. Yeah, football. Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do. We've been breaking down the first couple rounds. We did round 1 2 weeks ago. We did rounds all the way up to round 4. So today, 5, 6, 7, 8. It might sound like a lot, but the cool part is there's groupings: wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. We're gonna kind of do some verses, some face-offs, and so we're gonna kind of break it down. Round 5, the 501, and then we'll just go from there. So
try and do it within an hour too. That's
we're gonna try we're gonna hit the ground running. So
we're gonna cruise.
Let's talk round 5 RBs. Here are the 4 of them. I'll give them to you in the order that they're being drafted right now: TreVeyon Henderson, James Conner, Chuba Hubbard. Those are the round 5. Who are you targeting? And tell me why his name is TreVeyon Henderson. Go.
Man, the hype on TreVeyon Henderson, right? I mean, it's got to be him. It's got to be him. He's the one in round 5. I bet you he goes earlier than round 5 in a lot of leagues.
Agreed. I was walking out of school today and I was talking to somebody. I said, I'm talking rounds 5 today. I'm talking TreVeyon Henderson. He goes, what do you think of TreVeyon? I said, Henderson's the name. I said, get him. I said, but by the time we get to drafts, he'll be in the 4th. I said, you'll be lucky if he even gets to it. I'll have to get him in the 3rd. I was bemoaning the soaring ADP, but you saw what he did on that kickoff last week. And then this week again, he's just so quick out of the backfield. And Ramondre Stevenson, Antonio Gibson, they can't do that at all. That's not their skill set. That guy is a burner. So, I drafted him in a couple of the dynasty leagues, unbeknownst to me. I'm making good choices, but yeah, I like Henderson. I like Chuba Hubbard too, though. So I don't want to crap on these people either, because I think all those running backs, I would draft each of them, if I needed to. So here's where we're coming from. By the way, I should have segued into. We're using Fantasy Pros ECR, which is the kind of the collective experts collective rankings, right? So we might not rank them here, but that's where the guys are. So last week we talked about Amari Hampton. We said get him, Devonta Smith, Joe Burrow, James Cook, all those guys. So we ended here in the Chuba zone, right? Now here's the deal. TreVeyon Henderson is way down here, but this does not reflect the ADP of the draft boards. This is just the experts. So he's further down here on the experts, but way ahead in kind of where the public is targeting him. If he's number 1 for you, who are you looking next, Hubbard or James Conner? Because, man, they both are good. Conner, he's been good for a long time. I think we're waiting for him to fall off. He has not, though. He kind of is the linchpin of that offense. He can catch. He can run in space. He's a beast. And then Chuba just getting it done. They don't even need Brooks. They signed Chuba last year to a big-time deal in the middle of the season. So both these guys' arrows are, kind of going up. I like Chuba a little more, but how about you? Brass tacks, down to the 2 of them. You can pick them both. Who's your guy?
I think we have it ranked the exact same way. I'll take TreVeyon ahead of all of them. I'm so surprised he doesn't have a green arrow next to his name. There's so much hype. Where's the green arrow? How's he not moving up in the ECR rankings?
I know. I mean, maybe they're not updated weekly enough. Maybe it's like they do it once a month or every 2. I don't know. But this should be fluid, right? I don't know who's in here, but update your rankings, people. He's got to be higher than this right now.
Yeah. That's the way I'm going to rank it, is the way you just said. TreVeyon, Chuba, James Conner, but I'm happy with all 3 of those. I think they're very solid RB2s. In this round, these rounds, 5 through 8 is where we're getting into the RB dead zone. And it's interesting because, we're going to get into later rounds. So this is just round 5, but at the draft this year, they were really talking about this is a great year to go robust RB, particularly in, what this show is, where it's 2 running backs, 2 flex. You could get 3 really awesome running backs. I am not hating the dead zone after preparing for this show. There's a lot of guys I'm really interested in. So all 3 of these guys, I'm down. I'm down to draft. No fades here.
No fades. No, these are all braids. I think it depends on my build. If I already have an RB2 and maybe I'm looking to get a wide receiver, I might pivot and not go after Conner or Chuba Hubbard. But it really kind of depends on where I get that first pick and then where I go from there. So I want to be fluid and flexible. Let's jump to another group in the same kind of area, some wide receivers. Because, running backs are cool. We like running backs and stuff. But then there is a plethora of wide receivers. So in this round alone, there are like 9 wide receivers and 3 running backs. There's no tight ends. There's no quarterbacks in the ECR round. In real life there are. But just in ECR, we've got a plethora, right? Let me go through the list of the boys. We've got Zay Flowers, Baltimore, Jaylen Waddle, Miami, Xavier Worthy, Kansas City, Jameson Williams, the Detroit Lions, Calvin Ridley, Tennessee, George Pickens, Dallas, Rashee Rice, Kansas City as well, and we'll end it with Chris Olave. So let's play, off the island. Like we get to just kick someone off. So who do you kick off first? Who you're not voting, who you're not getting, you don't love them, you don't want them on your team, from this group of 9 WRs?
Yeah, there's nobody I don't want. Interestingly enough, I would say Jaylen Waddle to me is the one that I'm looking at with with the least amount of zest in my body for. So he's a fade for me. I'm just really worried about Miami. I just don't like I don't like the vibes, bro. I'm going off vibes with lots of these different draft picks, and I just don't like the vibes down there right now. Everything we're hearing, it's coming out. This could be the end of the Mike McDaniel era. It's just not. We do not like anything that we're hearing. I can't. The only person I'm really interested in is Devon Achane there. You know what I mean? Everybody else
Yeah.
is just scary. And then I'll say Zay Flowers too. I'll draft Zay Flowers, but I love Zay Flowers, but the upside, I think his ceiling is so low, man. Like he's just not the red zone guy. You know, there's so many options. Now they bring in DeAndre Hopkins. You saw Rashad Bateman flashing at the end of the year, right? And Zay Flowers is just not that big of a guy. Like he's not going to be an optimal red zone target. I'm really interested to see what they do with DeAndre Hopkins because that's an optimal red zone target. Like,
Well, he's free. He's like round
right,
18. You can just
right.
pluck him.
He's
a waiver wire guy.
he's gonna be on our rounds, 13 and waiver wire.
Sleeper.
Yeah, September 1st. Like once, he's not he'll probably go undrafted in a lot of leagues.
Okay, so what I've heard is two guys are off the island for you, Zay Flowers and Jaylen Waddle. I'll give you the next guys off the island for me. Chris Olave, not because I don't like him. His upside might be the best out of anybody in this group, right? But the fucking concussions, and I don't trust his quarterback situation either. They're both really, young quarterback, rookie quarterback. And then, if Rattler gets the job, it's touch and go. Just the consistency. What I think he's going to do is be boomer bust. At this round, I don't want boomer bust. I want like Jameson Williams. That's who I want. Like I want upside.
He's the
baby.
number one guy.
Yeah, he's my number one guy. There you go. We'll
Is he the number one?
Number one guy. Yes, he's my number one guy in this whole round.
Mine too. Me
too. I want him number one. And you might go, oh man, Scott, you're overdoing it. No. He only had like 91 fucking targets last year. You didn't understand that. Wide receiver 22. He is going to eat. And our boy Sam LaPorta is out until maybe week 1. We don't know. He's questionable with an undisclosed injury. They're not even telling us what he's hurt with. That's not good. I don't like that either. So I'm into Jameson this year. I think he has top 12 upside. Honestly, he could do that. But I love him the most. Okay, so we both love Jameson.
You know
Williams.
what? Actually,
anybody else challenging him?
He's my number 2. Upon thinking about this,
you going Xavier worthy?
No. I was watching our man Salvetri doing a deep dive on players you got to pick this year, and he made such a strong case for Calvin Ridley that he's going to be my number one guy. And this was the stat, right, that really had me like, ooh, wow, okay. Calvin Ridley last year ended up being Calvin Ridley again. We got to see some exciting games. There were moments where he was really popping in an offense that was just as bad as it could be. And here's the stat that got me, okay? Catchable target rate, okay? Number 97. He ended up having a decent fantasy year with the absolute worst, catchable target rate in the league. I mean, maybe there's 98, 99, whatever. I don't know. But number 1 in unrealized air yards. Okay. And now you're bringing in a QB that in college was known for one of the best deep balls. This guy has an incredible deep ball. Cam Ward wasn't drafted number 1 overall because he's not good at throwing deep balls. He's phenomenal at throwing deep balls. And you get to pair him with Calvin Ridley. I just think, you know, you got wide receiver 2 theory going on with Jameson Williams, and maybe he does, because he is so fast and is such a burner, that this is a year where he did actually outperform Amon-Ra over the course of a set amount of games last year. So Prime can't, like, to me, wide receiver 2 theory, Jameson Williams should be the poster this year, right? Like, he's the one that could actually maybe outdo Amon-Ra St. Brown.
It's Sidney Sweeney, but yes, it is Jameson Williams.
Okay.
The picture I have of Jameson Williams is him doing a backflip into the end zone.
And this is where, you know, me and you differ, is like, I still want the wide receiver 1, right? Like, I love the fact that Calvin Ridley, I know I don't have to gamble on it, right? Like, he's the wide receiver 1. So they're neck and neck in my rankings, because I do think everything about wide receiver 2 theory is true. And he is your guy. He's the poster boy of 2025 going into this season for being the guy who upsets.
Wide receiver 49, and he finished wide receiver 22, right? So, like, that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like I said, outperformed Amon-Ra. You know, I heard somebody call him ARSP at the expo. I like that, ARSP. They outperformed ARSP. There and what an amazing season it would be if he outperforms ARSP, right?
Yeah, and I'm not saying he will, but his ADP, yeah, I think he will. You know what I mean? Like, he's being drafted wide receiver 27. I mean, you know, like, Calvin Ridley is wide receiver 28. They're right in that range. If you get him up to turn, I get them both. I like them both.
Yeah.
But then also like TreVeyon Henderson. So, like, how can you draft? Like, all my favorite guys are like right here.
Yeah.
You know. So, all right, let's move on. I think we've stated our case. Rashee Rice, I'm drafting Xavier Worthy over him, just because if you look at the last, like, 7 games or 8 games without Rashee Rice last year, Xavier Worthy going into the playoffs and the Super Bowl, he was scoring 22 point something fantasy points per game, only second to only Jamar Chase in the whole NFL, right? Like, this guy has got it. And I'm not sure about what's going to happen with Rashee Rice. If we find out Rashee Rice is good to go and nothing's going to happen to him, whatever, and suspension's going to keep getting pushed, okay, but they don't even know yet. Like, it's all in limbo unless something happened when I was at school. So I just like Xavier Worthy to you know, be that guy while Rashee Rice is gone. And it's going to take Rashee Rice a little bit to get back in. And, like, I don't know. Rashee Rice is, if I had to pick between the two of them, I'm going Xavier Worthy. Are you Xavier Worthy or Rashee Rice?
Yeah, neither one of these guys is. I'd say Rashee Rice is a fade. Neither one of them are braids. Rashee Rice, you know, word on the street, it's anywhere from a 4 to 6 game suspension.
To be in the middle of your fantasy season,
in the middle of the fantasy season, right? So that's a lot of draft capital that you're, you know, just losing mid-season. And yeah, if it ends up being 6 games, you know, that could be the thing that knocks you out of the playoffs. So
it's hard to lose that high of draft capital too. Your 5th round pick, you need him. So, just saying.
That's why he's a fade, you know.
Yeah.
So
yeah, same. Okay. Now let's pivot, as Ross from Friends would say with the couch. Because we're jumping all around. Let's talk a little QB, right? This is kind of in that round. Jumping into the next round, it's kind of now we're into round 6, boys. 6 is exciting. We got in this round Patrick Mahomes versus Baker Mayfield. I'll let you pick either one. I'll let you champion whichever guy you want, and then I'll kind of come back at you with you know, a champion for the other, right? So it doesn't really matter who you pick. So you're up on the bat, and you can also say, are you drafting either of these guys, and yes or no in real life? Because I'll tell you honestly if I am or not. And then you can also kind of state your case for why or against, or which one you would favor over the other one, or maybe you're just trashing both of them. Do whatever you want. Go for it.
I'm not drafting either. if I'm going to draft one, I'm drafting Baker. And I would draft Baker potentially around here if my draft is going perfect. But I still don't think I would pull the trigger because there's enough guys later that I'm still really interested in. But the case for Baker, I think, is this. Okay. Right now, I think we were talking about this up at the expo with Joe and Dave. The top most favored guy to break Vegas has to break the all-time touchdown records this year is Joe Burrow, and I don't know what the odds are. Then after Joe Burrow, I forget who 2 is, but like 3 and 4 are like it's like Baker and Goff, you know. So there's a case for why you could wait for maybe even, going 0 QB and drafting like Goff and Drake May or whatever. Baker, though, you saw it last year. I mean, he's taken his game to another level, and even Vegas is on board with
He
that.
ran around a bunch. He ran. I mean, you're not going to get it every week, but he was doing Baker shit like he did the first year. So
They're just a high-powered offense, man, and then they've got Emeka Egbuka coming in. Chris Godwin will be back at some point. You have Mike Evans, who perennially is getting you double TDs in the end zone. So
1,000 yards.
Yeah, but Baker, he's going to bake. He's going to bake a little pie this year for sure. So if I had to pick, I'll take Baker.
Yeah, he was rejuvenated last year. Like, look at his yards per attempt. He used to be like in the 2.6, 2.9, 6.3 last year. That was pretty spiffy. I think what it just shows you is how wide open that offense is. And you get those big boys going downfield. He can just like on man coverage. You get a zone coverage Mike Evans? I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like, you need a man on that man. You need a couple men on that man. So when those men are on that man, then your boy Baker can just run behind him. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I'm Baker over Mahomes. I'm fading Mahomes. He's a big fat fade. And the reason is, I mean, part of it is Travis Kelce is old. He's old. He's not a touchdown machine anymore. You got Rashee Rice maybe getting suspended. Xavier Worthy, is he a red zone target? Like, you don't have DeAndre Hopkins no more. You don't have no big guy. Like, I just don't know.
I'm with you.
Yeah. I don't know. I do like their rookie running back, which is a sleeper we'll talk about like in 2 shows, but he's not in this round. So, yeah, we're not going to talk about him no more. So, all right. Next up, we're going to do a little tight end love. And TJ Hockenson is available here at pick 62. And then you have to go down a little bit here to find him. Sam LaPorta, but Sam LaPorta is injured, right? So I'm going to pivot because he's not practicing. So he's going to kind of fall right now because he's got the red arrow. Are you drafting TJ Hockenson or Travis Kelce? Are either one of these your guys? And kind of tell me why or why not.
It's sort of back to what I just said in the previous round. I'm going to go hero QB or hero tight end. And then if I can't, or the draft doesn't allow me to do that stuff, it's highly unlikely that I'm going to do one of these mid-round guys for QB or tight end. I most likely don't want either. If I'm picking, though, and I could see myself more than Baker picking Sam LaPorta. I am excited to draft Sam LaPorta. I will draft Sam LaPorta.
Let his ADP go.
I mean, I just was reading about it today too, because I was ready to kind of pump up Sam LaPorta. I would say he is somewhat of a braid for me. I'm not, but let his ADP fall for sure. But I think the ceiling is so high, and from what I read, they didn't say what the injury is, but from what I've read, I'm not hearing it's a big deal. So
Yeah, Dan Campbell said we're going to have to put him down for a few weeks, but it didn't really specify. He said he'll be back, he'll be okay. But it's Dan Campbell. He's just just like, I got to put him down, bro. He'll be okay, So I mean, okay. Tell me more.
yeah.
But yeah, I think I'm just fading that mid round tight end in general. Hockenson, no, thank you. I like him, but he's had some injuries. He's got a rookie QB. Justin Jefferson's, there. I think he's the big dog who's going to eat Addison. I like Addison too, even though he's getting suspended. So maybe Hawk will shine a little bit in the beginning, and then maybe he could trade him and fade him. I don't know, but I'm a little worried about Travis Kelce in general. Like, I'm just not into old guys. Like, he's so old, man. Like, no, thank you. There's just nothing for me to be excited about. I know he's in that mid. Finished 5 last year. I just he's been the best, but I don't want any piece of Kelce this year.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
He's in the next round. So we got to save him in the Kelce, Njoku, Ingram, Andrews round.
Yeah, I was trying to get him up into the conversation a bit, but yeah, I'd rather have a couple other guys than him, honestly.
Yeah, let's circle back to that because that's an interesting.
Yeah, we
round.
will. We'll put a pin in it.
Yeah,
so, all right. Next up, we talked about some of these other running backs here. Now we have a glut of running backs. And you talked about liking some other running backs as well in the dead zone. And there's some few here to like. I like a couple myself. So let's kind of go over them. We'll start just here in the order there on the board. David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift, Tony Pollard, Aaron Jones, Isiah Pacheco, and then RJ Harvey sneaks in down at the bottom. I'll leave it to you, good sir. If we're picking teams here, who's your first pick out of all these players?
You know what? I'm gonna shock you with this one because, well, first of all, let me say this. This to me is the most exciting stuff going on in these rounds. How about I love every single one of these guys? There is no fades. These are all braids. I will take every single guy here. I am not fading. And after thinking about it, in prepping for the 5 to 8 round show in 2025, I'm going Isiah Pacheco.
Oh, very interesting. Tell me more, good sir.
It is interesting because he is somebody that has not been on my radar until today. And then just thinking about it and deep diving on it, we all have amnesia. I mean, I'm not saying, he's the most talented guy in the group. Everybody loves him though, because he runs like a maniac. But they are the, Super Bowl runner-up. And when you go through and look at the other guys' stats, right? And this is another reason why, I'd say probably my number 2 guy is DeAndre Swift. Being in the Ben Johnson offense. DeAndre Swift last year was number 6 in stuffed runs. Okay. That's going to really improve this year. We were talking to our man Bruni on the way home. He was breaking down all the upgrades they've made on the offensive line. Swift, I think, has a better season. I think the talent is there. He's going to do great. Okay, so he was number 6 in stuffed runs. Okay. You go on the Kansas City Chiefs, and Isiah Pacheco is number 56. That line is there to make sure that they can get space for the running back. And he broke his leg last year and came back. I mean, I remember I was so excited because I had Kareem Hunt on so many different teams. And I was like, he's not coming back. He broke his leg. Well, no, he came back and he played. But he had a broken fibula, okay? Week 2, and then came back and played. It's been a while, bro. He's good to go, and he is on an offense where he is going to be able to get the red zone looks. They're going to put him in, and in the past, they had a receiving running back that was sort of taking away from his value. He's going to be the receiving running back this year. He's going to be the guy catching targets. So I think the upside for him is phenomenal, dude. And I think he's just, if you went hero RB or zero RB, I think it's a great place to pick up a couple running backs right here. And I'll pick up Isiah Pacheco for sure.
I respect it. It's not my pick. It did shock me a bit. I'm gonna shock jock. I appreciate the shock jock level. I'm gonna pivot to I think we talked about David Montgomery in the car going up to the Expo as well. He's just solid guy. Not gonna get a lot of targets. He'll get some, but not a lot. We'll get a little bit there. But not a lot. He'll get some goal line carries, but Jahmyr Gibbs is getting in there. I just like Jahmyr Gibbs this year to kind of increase the carries and stuff. So I'm kind of fading David Montgomery out of this group. I'll get him if I have to, but I think I like other players. I'm gonna say my guy is Tony Pollard, and I think part of that comes down to Tajay Spears is a good player, and Tajay Spears will be back. He will, but. I think that Tony Pollard was a beast a couple years ago. He got injured, and he really has shined at times, but he's not been able to kind of have the spotlight. So I think starting the season, I just kind of like where he's at. I think I like this offense too with Cam Ward. I think they are going to be better, and they're gonna lose games, but their defense sucks. But they're gonna have to put points up. They're gonna try to play football. So I like Tony Pollard a lot. So for me, I'm gonna say Tony Pollard. And then I would lean to Isiah Pacheco, and then maybe RJ Harvey. It's Sean Payton in the upside in that offense. I think people have been chasing it with Javonte Williams and over the years, just who's going to be in that offense, who's going to have that running back role. And RJ Harvey can catch the football, and he can run.
That's why I love him.
So,
J.K. Dobbins is right now, word on the street, he is going to be the RB1 in that offense.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. You've got your man, Sean Payton, okay? He has throughout his career, and this is why last year both of us were on Jaleel McLaughlin, okay?
Yeah, as a sleeper.
He loves to have an Ingram Kamara situation going on, right? Dobbins fits perfectly in the Ingram role. And then you have this back that really could be a Kamara on this offense. Jaleel McLaughlin he's just not worthy. I mean, he's good. He's more gadgety, right? Like this guy is what you need for someone who can come in, play all three downs, and then in particular play third down. And if there is any type of injury to J.K. Dobbins, as there has been throughout his career, there's so much upside with RJ Harvey. So he's someone that has been moving up my personal ranks, where I want to try and grab shares of him. I was listening to somebody else up at the Expo just talk about how they were fading Bo Nix, and everything, and their argument for fading Bo Nix was that everything is sort of pointing toward the fact that they are going to continue in a more aggressive manner, being a really high volume rushing offense. So I think RJ Harvey is sitting pretty in these rounds and is going to have an immediate impact week one.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Bo Nix last year was QB7. That was pretty high. So we'll talk about him soon. You're getting into the Bo Nix talking already. Look at you. I like that. Aaron Jones, I'm interested. I earlier I was kind of like a little bit on Jordan Mason. It's kind of like a sleeper RB. But man, I've been seeing some camp footage of Aaron Jones just toasting mofos out the backfield for 48-yard touchdowns, and you're just like, damn. Damn. So, I'm back on the Aaron Jones train. I think I was kind of maybe fading him a little bit in here. I would definitely pick up him as well. So I'm with you. These RBs are not dead. This is a nice little RB zone. You could build a good team, man. You could get going like we've been talking about, whether or not you start RB or whatever it is. I like it. So yeah.
Aaron Jones, man, same thing. I have faded him for so many years to my detriment, and I am not fading him this year. And I know they're camp highlights, but here's the main thing. We've all built this ceiling for RBs that once they get above 28, 29, unless they're Hall of Famers, we lose interest. And things done change, man. Science is real. People are figuring out how to add longevity to their careers. And Aaron Jones, I think, is set up to do what he does every single year, which is have another fantastic year when he is on the football field. And Kevin O'Connell is one of the best coaches in the league, dude. I think the Vikings will be really good, and Aaron Jones is going to be somebody that I think just does what he continues to do throughout his career, which is just ball out when he's on the football field.
I mean, he's got 5 top 15 finishes in the last 6 years. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
Jordan Mason is not him. He's just not.
Yeah, well, it's the receiving too. You get 61 targets last year, or 62 targets last year.
51 receptions, baby. I love it.
Yeah, they know what they're doing over there. So yeah, I like Aaron Jones. If he gets hurt, Jordan Mason's a great little guy to have. But yeah, I'm all about that. Okay. Oh no! I tried to log in. Don't do it, mate. Don't you do it? Okay. So we're still scrolling. All right, we're back. Okay, next up, I just got a question for you. I'm going to do yay or nay because we don't have a lot of wide receivers in this round. It just comes down to 2, right? Yeah. We just have Jerry Jeudy or Travis Hunter. Jerry Jeudy, had a great year last year. Top 10 wide receiver, top 12 wide receiver, whatever it was, ridiculous. Actually, we can just check and see. It'll tell us. That's how that works. 12. Yeah, finished 12. Perfect. I knew he was top 12. He was phenomenal. He gets Joe Flacco to start the season. Flacco likes to sling it and fling it. I know Stefanski, is going to need to run the football, wants to run the football, but they're not projected to win a lot of games. They're not great. They're going to need to throw the football. Is Jerry Jeudy undervalued here? What's going on?
I think so. For sure, man. I mean, last year was finally the year where Jerry Jeudy, who was, projected for the Hall of Fame when he came into this league, and was just one of these guys. I remember him getting into it with Steve Smith, where Steve Smith was like calling him mid,
Yeah, he was calling him out in the middle before the game.
He was just like, "You're mid, bro," and like,
hilarious.
He wasn't wrong, but of course, Jerry Jeudy was just like so offended, and then for whatever reason, once he got away from the Broncos and got to be on the team where he got to be the alpha and didn't have to share the spotlight, with Courtland Sutton, he just went off in a way that everyone has been waiting for him to do in his whole career. And I don't see why that stops. Like, I'll 100% talk. He is a big braid for me in these rounds. And I think, everyone can see that he's somebody that you want to target as many times as you can. So I don't think that changes. Like, I think he gets a ton of targets.
Yeah, he was one of my wide receiver 230 guys to target last year as well. So yeah, I like him. Travis Hunter. I'm not, no mockery, no meanness, no nothing. Right, bro wants to play 2 ways, wants to do it into it. I respect that. He's already hurt though. He's already hurt.
Is he hurt?
Yeah, he's
I
already
didn't
hurt.
even see that. He's
He's
hurt.
already he's a little
What's
banged
wrong
up.
with him?
Yeah. I looked at it earlier. Let's go look at the news. It's not here. I'll look it up real quick on the back end of the show because he is hurt, and I saw today that he's hurt. So he was in my rundown of all the injuries.
There you
So,
go, bro. I mean, we're simpatico. Like, he's a
yeah,
fade for me.
yeah,
I mean, I'm just nervous about him, right? That's the main thing. I'm nervous about him. I mean, I think the talent is there, and I think also it does seem like he is going to be a wide receiver more than he's going to be a cornerback.
yeah.
But he just makes me scared, right? Like there's just other people here, running backs in particular, and then Jerry Jeudy. I'm going to go after versus Travis Hunter, but
Yeah.
the talent is certainly there. I
I
mean,
wrote
he
about him for
could
wide
he
receiver
could be
today, so
he could be a monster this year. I have trepidation.
well, he's not a big guy, and Cohen said this is what it says, and I am on Jacksonville.com for this story for sports, and it says Cohen said Hunter was dealing with an upper body injury, and his absence was precautionary. So he's not like out forever, but he's already dealing with a little bang up here and there. That's fine, but like you're gonna play both ways, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like you're gonna have to get much more than just you know just little practice injuries. You're gonna get like up. So, minor. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm just not putting all my stakes in him either. At this round, it's just not kind of like where, I'll wait for him a little later and hopefully he falls. So, hopefully he falls to tight end university later. No, we'll see. All right. Now let's talk. We got a little quarterback log jam coming up next, right? So we'll get rid of Travis Hunter. Okay, we're fading Travis Hunter. He's not a braid for us. We scroll down a little bit here. We get quarterback central, right? We've got Bo Nix, we've got Kyler Murray, and then we've got Dak, Attack, Stack, Prescott, right? Rank those from first to worst that you're drafting.
I'm going Dak number one. That's who I want, baby. But
Ding,
still,
ding, ding.
all three. I don't know if Dak's a fade. The other two are for sure fades. I drafted Joe Mixon up at the draft, and I was just like
Jump in a
holding.
lake.
Yeah, I was holding out hope. Joe Mixon is now off all my draft boards. Are we going to get to him this show?
Yeah, we might.
Yes, we are. Yeah, well, sneak preview. He's off all my draft boards. Guess who else is off all my draft boards? I'll never draft him again. It's Kyler Murray. I'm never drafting Kyler Murray. I don't care. Maybe he has a great season this year. I'm not doing it. I'm not playing the Kyler Murray game. I
You
don't think he's
can't
long for the
see the
league.
middle of the field.
Yeah, dude, he's just getting older and slower. He's got it.
Right.
He's got to run for like 150 yards a game for him to be, a top 5 to 7 QB. So I don't want him. Meanwhile, Bo Nix, he has that ability as well. But I was saying earlier that I think this could be just another year where they're working on building someone that could be a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like I think Bo Nix is he's got all the things that you could build a franchise around. And but his draft capital is too high for me. So both of those guys are fades for me.
Yeah, I think Dak, the potential for Dak there is
Ceiling.
just ceiling, right? Chasing it. That's what you're looking. If you're going to get a quarterback there, get Dak. I think so. I am simpatico with you, and we did not prep for the show and go over and talk about all our favorite friends and stuff like that. So, all right, let's get to another little group of wide receivers. We've got a wide receiver one. Well, you'll like this, Stephon Diggs. We've got a wide receiver one, but technically Jacoby Myers is a wide receiver two because they've got someone named Brock Bowers. But anyway, he's a wide receiver one, and then Odunze, who is a wide receiver two. So a couple of wide receiver ones and a wide receiver two. Rank these mofos from worst to first. We're doing something different this time. Keep it fresh.
Worst to first. I'm actually going. I know everybody's on them, and again, I have trepidation because there's just so many mouths to feed on offense. I'm going reverse order, I'm going Rome Odunze is worst. I'm going Jacoby Myers, who I am very interested in. And then Stephon Diggs is the one that's just like, yeah, give me
Yes.
Stephon
Give me
Diggs. But
cocaine every time, baby.
Rome
Ooh.
Odunze, man, like you got DJ Moore, you got Rome Odunze, you got Luther Burden, you got Colston Loveland, like, and we don't
DeAndre Swift.
know. Yeah, we don't know who's really going to emerge as the dude. I don't see why. I think for sure DJ Moore is going to emerge as the dude. And can that offense, can Caleb Williams have two guys at 1,000 yards? Maybe. But then you also have Luther Burden coming in, who Ben Johnson was involved in drafting. So it's just risky. Like there's a lot of people who are really high on Rome Odunze, and maybe they end up being right. There's a lot of good stuff coming out about their camp. The chemistry between him and Caleb Williams. But again, is he better than DJ Moore? I don't think so. I think DJ Moore is just one of the dudes in the league. And I think the offense is going to continue to flow through him primarily. And Rome Odunze is somebody that is just there's risk because you now have another guy that Ben Johnson brought in that could eat into that. And then you have this new tight end that's also going to get a lot of targets. Like he's there to get targets.
Yeah, I think it's going to be mouths to feed, like you said. Jacoby Myers, though, not mouths to feed. I think he should be, the wide receiver one. Last year, he got 130 targets almost, finished wide receiver 19. And the year before, I mean, simpatico in points. You could see his rise here when he was in New England. And then he became a 180s guy, and then he became a 218 guy. I mean, he could be 218 again or 210, whatever. I mean, that's better than where he's being drafted way down here. I'm with you. Like, I think he's got a better quarterback, right, this year than the piles of shit he had last year, right? Like,
oh my gosh, it's the best. It's his best situation ever, and he has just done it again and again with nobody, and now he has Geno Smith.
Right. Yeah, it doesn't make it make sense, Jerry. Make it make sense. It just doesn't. It doesn't compute. I got Jacoby Myers in the draft in Canton, so I was just like, oh, you can give me Jacoby Myers. I took him over Rome Odunze, so I already did this. So I'm with you 100%. I did not get Stephon Diggs. I did want him. I'm with you too. In that order, the same. And I like pink cocaine. I've never had it. I never will, and I don't want cocaine. But I like Stephon Diggs. And I like how he's just talking to ladies, and he's just like, "Yeah, you like my pink cocaine?" And they're like, "We love it." And he's like, "That's what I do," And he actually looks great in practice, and he looks good. He's able to get that injured. I think tore his ACL last year, right? Yeah, he's coming back. He's looking good. He's cutting. He's like the best wide receiver in camp. So all systems look like he is ready to have a bounce back season, and he didn't even get hurt. I mean, he didn't even suck before he got hurt. He was doing well before he got hurt. Yeah, he just got hurt. And I saw it. I saw it live. I watched it live. I was like, "Fuck, I got that guy." So I'm into our boy. He's a Maryland guy. We got to give shout out to Maryland, like local, and we're all about that. So, okay, all right. Next is tight end. I teased it earlier, man. Strap up, get your beer pong played, get your beers ready, your shotguns, all that good stuff, because we have a plethora of tight ends down here, starting with Travis Kelce. Then we've got David Njoku, Evan Ingram, and then Jaylen Warren. Jaylen was joking. Then who is it? It's down here. Mark Andrews. Yeah, Mark Andrews. Yeah, I was giving you a little Jaylen Warren, see if you're paying attention. Mark Andrews. There are a couple of these guys I really like, and Travis Kelce I do not like at his price. I talked about how I don't like Travis Kelce. What about you and Kelce? Are you still buying him?
No, I'm not buying him. No way. I don't want him. I mean, last year was just really troubling. You can blame it on Taylor Smith, or you can blame it on the fact that that's
Taylor
an old
Smith.
man.
You call her Taylor Smith just now?
No, I said Swift.
Oh, I swear I heard Smith. We'll listen later. That's hilarious.
Yeah, maybe it sounded like the audio made it sound like Smith, but Taylor Swift. I just think he is moving into he's in the twilight of his career. He's just an older guy, and I have no interest in wasting a draft pick around here when I could get Stephon Diggs. I'm not really interested in any of these guys. Njoku holds some appeal for me. But out of all of them, I think Mark Andrews is the guy that I'm really interested in, because of the offense and the fact that he is just a big red zone. The red zone equity there is just phenomenal. So I'm probably most interested in him. Like I will draft Mark Andrews, depending on what my build has been like. But I'd love to get. He's kind of like the one guy around there that, like, yeah, I'm gonna go for if my team's right. But I have no problem again because going 0 tight end is just, that's the most solid draft strategy that we could all advocate for, right? Like, unless you get Trey McBride or Brock Bowers, it is such a crapshoot every single year with who emerges. Last year everybody was going after Sam LaPorta, and you should have been going after Zach Ertz, right? Like, undrafted Zach Ertz.
Duh,
Yeah, and
everybody.
it's just every year there's people like that, Tucker Kraft, like he's still way down there. You can get him later. So I think Andrews to me is the only one that I'm going to draft around here. What about you?
And then Njoku or Andrews, I'll get either one of them because Andrews got like 11 touchdowns last year. And what you see from his consistency, right? Like 6, 3, 11, 2, 8, 5, 9, 8, 8, 8. That's just like the most consistent tight end ever. In tight ends do not do that normally. It's a touchdown equity too, like you said. That's why he can do that. And it's not like he's getting like 80 catches or anything like that. But with Njoku, what you get is these like monster games, where he goes bananas. And so he was
Right.
the tight end 1, 2, 2, 4, and in these games 23, 19, 26, 17. So, he got hurt a little bit last year too. So he plays an aggressive game. He's a big boy. So, but I mean, I think for if Andrews is gone, I would go Njoku, but I'm fading. We already talked about Kelce. I'm fading Kelce, and then who was the other one that was in there?
Ingram.
I actually do like Ingram. I think Ingram will drop. I saw him playing. I saw him do a long, like 50-yard catch yesterday, on the NFL Network. I'm watching all the games. He just looked so great in that offense, and so I do like him too. I'm okay with him there. I maybe even later. Most of the time, tight ends don't go crazy in that round. So I'm just thinking of our home league, but in sharp leagues, he probably will go sooner. So I like him. I'm comfortable getting him, but I think maybe he'd be the third one in that order, for me. And I'm fading Kelce big time. Like, well, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay. All right. Next, we're working right through here, man. We're gonna make time. I think. I hope. I don't know. Are we close? Maybe not. Okay. We're getting it. Yeah. Next, let's talk some RBs, and we got some running backs, and then we'll get some quarterbacks, and we'll get out of here. So, next is Tyrone Tracy, Jaylen Warren, and Caleb Johnson, 2 running backs right here from Pittsburgh, and then Tyrone Tracy. Let's start with Pittsburgh. What are you thinking about this backfield led by Old Man Rodgers? Are you leaning Warren? Are you leaning Johnson? A lot of hype on the rookie. I think people are drafting Caleb Johnson sooner than Warren. I've seen personally. Where are you at?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want either of them. They're both fades for me. You never know how things are going to go with Arthur Smith. I just don't like. I want to know what I'm getting when I'm drafting. Like, you can't predict the season, you can't predict how the team is going to perform, but I just have no idea how things are going to shake out here. Jaylen Warren is a very talented football player, so I'll take him before I take Caleb. And I think neither one of those guys, they're both fades for me. I'm not interested right now.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm worried about Old Man Rodgers making it through the season. So, but I think I might lean the rookie upside. Just he hasn't played yet, but I think I don't know. I'm fading both of them, but I think I lean more Caleb
How about Tyrone Tracy is another gem that's just
Yeah.
screaming out in this round.
Tyrone
Like,
Tracy's a beast. I know people are
yeah.
Cam scatterboing everywhere.
I know. I
yeah.
don't get it. I
They're all
mean,
in
he's
the
a big
Scatterbo
boy.
camp.
Everybody loves Scatterbo, and it's like Tyrone Tracy balled out last year when he got the opportunity, and he is the RB1 on that team, and he is going to be the RB1 on that team. Like Cam Scatterbo, when he heals, is going to get looks, but it's all set up for Tyrone Tracy to just keep doing what he's doing. And like, this is just another late round RB2 that you can get in round 7, man. Like, it's awesome. Like he's being drafted as an RB3, and he has RB2 upside for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm with you on that. I'm gonna fade them both, and I'm gonna go get me some, some down and dirty Tyrone Tracy. I like it. All right, let's talk wide receivers. This is the last batch before we get out of here. In this, we have Khalil Shakir, Chris Godwin, Jordan Addison, Jawan Jennings, and Ricky Pearsall, who's way up here at the top. I will start off by saying I'm a big fan of Ricky Pearsall here over Jawan Jennings at this point. I think most people are. You can see the green arrow is next to Pearsall. He's kind of fire right now. Where are you at with those two when it comes to Jordan? When it comes to Jawan Jennings and Ricky Pearsall?
You know what, man? I kind of feel similar. I love you. I remember last year I was hyping Ricky Pearsall, and I thought he was going to emerge. But Jawan Jennings stayed steady, just balling out when he was given his opportunity. So, I mean, homeboy was shot in the chest last year and ended
at
up
our
playing.
draft. We found out. We were like,
Right.
"Hey, what's up? The guy you just drafted, he got shot like a minute ago." Like, oh shit.
For me personally, I'm probably not as high as experts are. I think I just want to see how things shake out. The 49ers as a team are somewhat of a fade for me this year. So
interesting. We're going to talk about Brock Purdy at the end. We'll be getting out on Brock Purdy. Jawan Jennings, most people were just talking about how last year all of his points came in like 3 games, right? You had the Rams game where he scored 3 touchdowns, then he had a 28-point game. So, he was boom or bust. I think that he will be boom or bust this year again, and I think he'll have those big games. I think Ricky Pearsall will be more consistent. So I think it's what you need when you're in that round and how you've built your team at that point. And if you already have some upside players that you're chasing, maybe go Pearsall. But if you need an upside boom or bust, I think Jawan Jennings would be your person. I'm not drafting those people over Jordan Addison. And I know Jordan Addison misses the first 3 games of the season due to his DUI falling asleep. But, man, this guy is him. I've got no doubt he's going to keep being him in 2 seasons, 32 games. He's got around, 10 touchdowns in each season. He's got 20 touchdowns. Like, this guy catches touchdowns. He had a rushing touchdown last year. He is around wide receiver 21, 23. And he, probably going to get around there too, because he's not going to play full season this year. He's going to play 14 games probably. So, but I like his value. You can get him. Let's see where they have wide receiver 41, wide receiver 39. That's good value. I think he'll be up there. I think they have him down 50 fantasy points this year. Just taking that. I don't think so. I'm still a big fan of Jordan Addison. How do you feel about him?
Shout out Frederick, Maryland, dude. Yeah, man, I'm with you, Jordan Addison. He's still not the number 1 guy for me out of this list, but he's only here because of the 3-game suspension. So if you've got your build right, it's certainly worth knowing if things are set up for you. Okay, I can deal with 3 games without him, and then to get him back, your team just could go to the next level.
He's gonna be faded by your league mates in home drafts too. Like he will be, just because he's suspended. People are gonna be like, fuck that. I want that. I want I don't know, somebody else. Maybe they want Khalil Shakir. Is that
That's
who
I want?
That's what I thought you want. Yeah, that was between me, Khalil Shakir for me and Jordan Addison. So talk about Khalil Shakir.
I mean, you just saw last year, like he's the guy on that offense. Like he does so much. He's number 2 in the league with yards after catch, right? Number 2. He plays with Josh Allen. He was number 7 in target separation, like with one of the most accurate, nasty quarterbacks that's ever strapped him on, dude. Just signed his deal. Everything's good, has a high ankle sprain, so they're saying week 1 could be in jeopardy. Fine. He'll be fine. Like the best time to get a high ankle sprain is in July, right? Like he's to me, he's just screaming value in these rounds.
Yeah, I would tell everybody in your league about his high ankle sprain. I would let people know. I would tweet out stories
I
about
do a
it.
lot of high ankle sprain talk before the
Yeah,
draft.
man, I would never do draft 3 dudes with high ankle sprains. You already got 2. Don't make another one. That's gonna
Yeah.
ruin your team. No, I like it. Yeah, a little buzz for Keon Coleman. We'll talk about him maybe next week. So, dang nation, I keep hitting that subscribe button. They want me to buy.
Then you got Godwin in there, and it's just
Yeah,
like
God,
we
what I was
just
going to
don't
mention,
know.
he's injured, and they're looking like his ankle's not healing as fast as the
Scary.
reports are. Yeah, it's scary. Emeka Egbuka to the moon, by the way. I mean, he might be in this round. We might be missing talking about him because next week he might be up here. But he's going to basically replace Chris Godwin sooner, maybe rather than later. I don't know.
Yeah, I need to know more before I draft him.
Yeah, I think another guy that will fall in drafts as well. Okay. All right. Well, we're almost out of here. We've got only a few more things left to get to say. This is the no zone of running backs for me. We got like 3 guys. I'm just going to say no to
Me too.
myself. Brian
I don't want any
Robinson,
of them.
the Commanders are shopping him possibly. So no. Joe Mixon on the pup, no. Travis Etienne possibly replaced by Tank Bigsby. Maybe a value, but no. I'm just not building my team on any of these guys. You're saying no as well?
All 3 no. The only one I would draft is Travis Etienne. If I need a running back, I think he will get PPR work, so he's the one I'm most interested in. But yeah, it's just shaking out. Like Tank Bigsby is going to be another thing this year. So
a guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna be a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Last 3, we'll get out of here. We'll get you back next week with the most important things. We got 3 quarterbacks. We got Brock Purdy, we've got Justin Fields, and we've got Justin Herbert. So 2 Justins and a Brock. All right. So that's hilarious. Tell me, who is your number 1 out of these guys that you're drafting?
You know what? It's got to be Justin Fields, man. But give me the Justins. Braids on the Justin, fade on the Brock, dude. I want both Justins, dude. I'm excited for either one of those. If you played 0 QB, Justin Fields is also just sitting there screaming at you. Like, I get a rushing touchdown every game I play in the NFL. So, this is one of these things that you'll hear fantasy know-it-all say, like, he's not the best, NFL quarterback, but for fantasy purposes, man, he checks the boxes.
Scott Fishbowl darling. People were very excited to get him. He's not doing great in camp with throwing the football to people. So he's got to pick that up. I think he'll be maybe somebody you could get 2 QBs and maybe spot start him when he starts to pick up. Because I think it's gonna be some slow going. I just think their pace of play is gonna be slow. So I'm kind of Justin Fields myself personally. And I'm not Justin Herbert. He doesn't throw enough for me. I mean, I like him, but I think I will go Brock. I think I drafted Brock in the Canton experience there. I think he's one of my guys. So I think I will go Brock this year and just kind of see what happens with his wide receivers. I might get a little late round stack. I think people are sleeping on him, but there's other people I'd rather go with, honestly. Like he's not my target, but I don't hate him like you. Like you're fading him. Like I think I might get him. So he might be a braid for me. But
okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it, my friends. That we're into rounds, I guess, 9 through 12 next week, and then we'll do 13 to sleepers or 13 to waivers the following week. Before we get out of here, please go over and to save 15% on memberships at Fantasy Six Pack. It's
F6P pods to save 15%. And also fan tracks, man. Customizable leagues that you can play for free. Your platform, you can make it however you want. Very customizable, very free. Fantasy football and college fantasy football for you degens like Bruni and everybody else. And, our guy, Froton, all that lovely stuff. So, all right, that's all I've got, my friend. Anything else that you want to say to friends before we get out of here? We're all
No,
zoomed
man.
up.
Yeah, war, destruction, chaos, and pain to all your fellow league mates in these upcoming drafts, and
Yes,
peace and
very much.
love everywhere else.
Yeah, particularly drafts that you're in against me, and the ones that you're like right next to me. I hope destruction upon your team immediately. So,
Yep,
yeah.
right back at you.
We'll see you guys next week, 5:00. We'll be there every single week.